We mentioned Greasy Kid Stuff, an album you released on the Evidence label in 2001. And I think when we talk about great West Coast recordings of the last 15 years, this is one that's part of the conversation. Tell me about this album.
God, man, it's hard for me to believe that it was 2001. That's 14 years ago, and that's the last record I've made. I haven't made any records since. I've been on recordings, but, it's been a long time. I forgot what you asked me. What was it?
Well, how about tell me, what do you remember about making this record? And I know it has a concept of heavy guest harmonica players. It works out great, but I'd like to know if this was something that was planned.
Well, the great thing about those Evidence records, there was one guy that you have to mention, and that's Jerry Gordon. Jerry Gordon, that never would have happened without Jerry Gordon. Jerry Gordon is a soulful cat, man. And he was the essence of Evidence records. He had a partner named Howard, the two of them. Howard, more of a businessman. And Jerry picked the music, and Howard was kind of went along with what Jerry's ideas were. Because Jerry had a record store, in Philadelphia, and that's where he came from. He came up from that. And so Jerry kind of let me run with it, Jerry said, well, what kind of concept do you have? And again, House Party was guitar players. So harmonica players, Greasy Kid Stuff was guest harmonica players. So I picked guys that I thought would be cool to play with. We went in the studio, and I tried to create an atmosphere in there, again, of camaraderie and having a good time. So all those sessions were catered. I had food brought in. We ate. Everybody got to hang around. People that did their songs could stay if they wanted to stay. You know what I mean? But it was like everybody got to come down there and we were all friends, and some of them were meeting for the first time, but it was just a vibe, an atmosphere of everybody having a good time. And so people were in the control room or whatever listening to what the next songs were. And so it was just really a good time.
Kid, as part of your blues brand, you seem to really identify with the greaser. Would you agree?
Well, I have an affinity for stuff that happened in the 50s, man. I think it was an era of great cars, motorcycles, style, fashion, and of course music. So it's just one of those things that you identify with. I don't know what it is that makes you identify with it, but when you hear it and see it, you go, that's me. And that's what's been the majority of my life, has been that, and I don't just put on a costume and portray something. This is who I am,
That's cool, yeah. Now, kid, let's talk about a health scare that you had in your life. You've been battling cancer. It's a serious matter. If you would, give us an update on the state of your health.
Well, the kind of cancer that I had was a rare cancer, and especially for somebody my age, mostly children get it and younger people. And it was a brutal cancer because it required a lot of chemotherapy and really aggressive chemotherapy. And I went through radiation treatment as well and surgery. And it was, a good 2 years out of my life. And by the grace of God, I'm here. And I say that with all sincerity. It was a battle of my life. And I don't take it for granted. I take one day at a time because that's all we get. Nobody's promised tomorrow. We don't know. And so you just live each day the best you can. And that's what I try to do. At this point, I'm cancer-free, but I have to go up for treatment, checkups every so many months, The further you get away from it, the better chance you have of it not coming back. If it comes back, then that's a whole nother thing, I don't try not to think about that or dwell on it because I won't survive if it comes back, basically, is what I was told. So, you know what? None of us know about tomorrow, so I live each day, man, and try to do things I want to do that I, may not get the opportunity to do. So, playing music is one of the joys of my life. It's brings me great pleasure to do it. So I hope to continue to do it, Lord willing, man. As long as I have the strength to do it, and people want to come see me still and don't throw rocks at me, I'll keep doing it.
Well, that's deep. Thank you for sharing that great news with us. We're so blessed that you're still here. Thank God. And that's a pretty inspirational story. I know that if there's anybody that can turn this terrible thing into a positive experience, it's Kid Ramos.
Oh, thank you. You have to find some good in that, and I believe there's a lot of good in it, even though it's a horrible thing. I found good in it because it brought me to my knees and to the end of myself, and realizing that there's powers beyond ourselves. And my faith in God is what pulled me through it, I'm not going to preach to you, but that's what sustained me, man. And that's truly what was a good thing that came from it, because you realize that there's peace in surrender.
Yeah.
And that's where I found peace, because I couldn't carry that burden myself. And I surrendered, man. And I gave it to the Lord, and I said, you know what? Whatever your will is, I'm gonna go with it, because I don't know the outcome. So, and that gave me great peace, man, and that gave me the strength to get through that trial. The blues is victory over things in our lives, whatever it may be. We all have trials. Every single person that's living has gone through trials or will go through trials. And to overcome a trial, there's great joy, man. And the blues gives me that great relief, and it gives you just a joy, man, a joy to be able to just to testify about it, what it is, man, what the blues means to each and every one, individually.
America is endorsed by the Phoenix Blues Society. Learn how to become a member at phoenixblues.org.
It's time to go back, baby. Way, way back. This is the Way, Way Back Blues.
Well, now, I ain't got nobody in this world alone. Want someone to love me, hold me in the arm. I want you to hold me, want you to hold me.